He had been left for dead. A spear lodged deep, breath rattling, blood soaking the dirt beneath him. The warrior had fought to protect the final gate of the Valia sacred pass, guarded for centuries by his tribe. But when the battle ended, silence claimed the mountains. His brothers were gone, his enemies retreated, and he was alone. By dusk, the vultures circled. But before they landed, she arrived. Old, bent, wrapped in layers of cloth that smelled of earth and ash. No one remembered her name. Some called her a ghost, others a healer. She had once walked with chiefs, it was said, before vanishing into the deep hills where even wolves didn't howl. She didn't ask what happened, only touched the wound, sniffed the blood, and whispered to the wind. Then she vanished into the shadows of the trees, barefoot. The warrior slipped in and out of waking. Fever gripped him. Visions, danced fires, drums, laughter that turned into screams. But then something cold touched his lips, bitter, thick, alive. The woman had returned. With a bowl of green-black liquid made from roots twisted like veins, bark chipped from trees struck by lightning, and a flower that only bloomed during storms. No one in the tribe had used those herbs in generations. Most believed them lost. She worked through the night, packing leaves soaked in oil into the wound, wrapping it in cloth woven from river reeds, singing old words not for the gods, but for the body. The warrior screamed once, then never again. By dawn, the swelling had slowed. The color returned to his skin. By the third day, he could sit. By the seventh, he stood. And by the next moon, he returned to the village, limping but alive. The elders called it a miracle. The young called it magic, but the old woman said nothing. She only handed the warrior a single pouch filled with crushed leaves, ash, and petals. For the next time, she said, because there is always a next time. And so began the legend of the oldest herbal cure that the world almost forgot. Welcome back to Forgotten Path. Today we are diving into an ancient tale to uncover the mystery of an almost lost remedy. The story goes that a great battle took place in a hidden valley long ago. One warrior fought valiantly, defending the sacred pass for as long as he could. But when the dust settled, he was mortally wounded and left behind. All hope seemed to be lost. But just when the darkness threatened to consume him, a mysterious old woman appeared. She used herbs and rituals to bring him back from the brink of death. And as a final precaution, she gave him a special remedy to use if he ever found himself in such a desperate state again. The question is, what was this ancient healing? What can we learn from the warrior's ordeal? How can we apply these lessons to our own lives? To start, let's explore the symbolic meaning of being left for dead. In the story, the warrior is literally left to die. This might represent moments in our lives when we feel abandoned, hopeless, or without a support system. These could be times of physical or emotional pain, trauma, grief, or even spiritual emptiness. Sometimes life knocks us down and we find ourselves in situations where it seems like no one cares or no one can help. Maybe you're going through something like this right now. It might feel like you're at the end of your rope, like you've tried everything and nothing has worked. Or perhaps you've given up on seeking help because you've been let down too many times in the past. In this story, the warrior didn't have the luxury of wallowing in self-pity. As darkness descended, the vultures circled, symbolizing death and decay. If left unattended, the physical wounds would surely lead to infection and death. But something unexpected happened. Just as all hope seemed to be fading, a ray of light appeared. The old woman arrived, representing a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak situation. So when you're feeling left for dead, remember to keep an open mind and heart. Help may come from the most unexpected sources. Don't lose faith in the healing power of connection and compassion. As the story unfolds, we witness the transformative power of touch. The old woman didn't waste time diagnosing the situation or prescribing a lengthy list of treatments. Her first action was to simply touch the wound and sniff the blood. This simple act carried deep significance, symbolizing empathy, intuition, and an intimate connection to the land and its healing properties. Her touch wasn't just a physical gesture, it was a spiritual one as well. She acknowledged the warrior's pain and suffering, showing up with presence and intention. This moment teaches us that sometimes the greatest healing comes from being seen, heard, and cared for. When someone takes the time to understand and connect with our pain, it can be incredibly comforting and empowering. This brings us to the heart of the story, the old woman's knowledge of herbs and healing. She vanished into the forest, returning with a concoction made from roots, bark, and storm-blooming flowers. Each ingredient carries symbolic meaning and powerful healing properties. The roots and bark likely represented strength and resilience, while the storm-blooming flower symbolized courage, growth, and transformation. As she prepared the remedy, she sang ancient words, connecting the present moment to the wisdom of the past. This teaches us the importance of preserving traditional knowledge and respecting the wisdom of our ancestors. Many cultures have developed natural remedies over centuries that have been proven effective. Yet many others have been discarded or dismissed as outdated. Before we dive deeper into the symbolism, let's take a moment to talk about plants that can actually do what the old woman's remedy did in the story. There are many herbs and remedies that have been used for centuries to treat wounds, reduce inflammation, and alleviate pain. Willow bark, for instance, contains salicin, a compound that can help with pain relief and fever reduction. This was used long before aspirin was invented. Similarly, turmeric contains curcumin, which has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. The old woman packed leaves soaked in oil into the wound and wrapped it in cloth woven from reeds, creating a poultice that would stay in place and protect the injury. This technique is still used today in traditional medicine. The leaves and oils used in the poultice likely had antiseptic and anti-inflammatory properties. The reed cloth would have helped keep the area clean and dry, preventing further infection. When the old woman began packing the leaves soaked in oil into the warrior's wound, a significant transition occurred in the narrative. This action not only symbolizes physical healing, but also a deeper emotional and spiritual restoration. The careful application of the remedy represents the gentle yet powerful process of recovery, emphasizing the importance of patience, care, and attention to detail in the healing journey. As the old woman meticulously works, the warrior slips in and out of consciousness. This symbolizes the intense pain and trauma he experienced during the battle, leaving him physically and mentally drained. However, as the remedy is applied, there is a gradual shift. The bitterness and thickness of the concoction signified the potent natural compounds working to alleviate his pain and reduce inflammation. The aliveness of the herbs signifies the restoration of vital energy and circulation, bringing him back from the brink of death. The warrior's journey from despair to recovery mirrors the transformative power of traditional healing practices. The old woman's presence and guidance offer solace and hope, reminding us that healing is possible even in the darkest of times. The warrior's ordeal symbolizes the challenges and struggles we face in life, while the old woman's healing touch represents the potential for recovery and renewal. Her ancient knowledge and connection to nature provide a path towards wholeness, reminding us to seek help when we are lost and to honor the wisdom of those who came before us. That concludes our journey into the healing legend. Remember the warrior who faced seemingly insurmountable odds, drawing strength from the love and support of his community and the healing touch of the old woman. As we close this chapter, I encourage you to reflect on the profound lessons this story holds for each of us. How can we be more like the old woman, embracing our intuition, connecting with nature's wisdom, and offering compassionate support to those in need? How can we preserve and share the traditional knowledge that has been passed down through generations? And how can we find strength and resilience within ourselves to overcome the battles we face in our own lives? Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. Till next time, may you find healing, strength, and hope in the wisdom of the ages.